Architecturally, those are known as mullions. They help reflect sunlight into this building. This is 35 West Wacker, completed by Kevin Roche and John Dinkaloo. The building is said to be a column within a column, and is also home to the Leo Burnett Advertising Agency. This is the same agency who come up with Snap, Crackle, Pop, Ronald McDonald, Tony the Tiger, the Pillsbury Doughboy, and one of my favorites, the Meow Mix jingle. Look in front of the boat, off and to the right, find the building with the green base and the gold cap. Now, this is the former Carbide and Carbon building, former Hard Rock Hotel. It's now known as the St. Jane Hotel. It was completed by the Burnham brothers back in 1928, and it's said to resemble a champagne bottle. They got their inspiration during a New Year's Eve party. It was built during the Prohibition. The top of that building is clad in 24-karat gold. Now, after we pass the bridge here to our right, we're going to see water spewing out of the ground. Directly behind that water, you're going to find a black marble slab. This is the second largest Vietnam memorial in the world. But off to our right, this is the Jewelers Building. It was built during the gangsta era here in the city of Chicago. Jewelers had to drive their cars into that building on top of an elevator so they wouldn't get mugged. Now, if you look to the top of the building, there's a temple-like structure. Architecturally, it is known as a belvedere. Now, in that belvedere in the mid-20s and the early 30s, it held a speakeasy known as the Stratosphere Lounge. A famous mobster used to visit that lounge. His name, Al Capone.
Al Capone.
Yep. After we pass the bridge here, look to the right of the London House. We're going to see a narrow skyscraper. Now, this is known as Mather Tower, completed by Riddle and Riddle back in 1924. Now, the original plan for Mather Tower back in the 1920s was to have two of these buildings side by side. This did not happen due to the Great Depression. This building was the tallest building in the world for 2 weeks. Now, we're just about where we started your tour, at the base of the London Guarantee and Accidents building. So I do have to mention that the London House is a boutique hotel added on a few years ago by Getcham Partners. Gets its name London House from at the base of the London Guarantee and Accidents building. There was a famous jazz nightclub known as the London House. This building is the second on your tour today, not as important as the piece of land that it's on. You see, if you walk around the base of this building, you will find brass inserts in the pavement that lets you know this is where our first military base was located, Fort Dearborn. Why do we choose this specific piece of land? Well, in just a few short seconds, we're going to begin to make our way up underneath this former Michigan Avenue bridge here. This is once where the lake met the river, so it was pretty convenient to have our first military base located here. Now, I got the name changed about 8 years ago in honor of our first non-Native American settler, John Baptiste Point du Sable. Now, I do want to mention that every building that is built east of this bridge is not built on land. It is built on landfill. You see, after the Great Chicago Fire in the year 1871, we pushed all that dirt, rubble, and ash into Lake Michigan and covered it with cement, accumulating landfill. Off into the left side of the boat, this is the Tribune Building, completed by Raymond Hood and John Meade Howell back in 1925. If you walk around the base of that building, you will find pieces of the Parthenon, the Alamo, Pyramid of Giza, Great Wall of China, and many more interesting artifacts. How do we get them? Well, our news reporters will just go around stealing them. In front of the boat, off and to the right, we have the Hyatt Regency Hotel, largest hotel here in the city of Chicago, completed by Epstein & Sons back in 1978, home to 2019 rooms. Now, as we begin to pass it, we're going to get a chance to see a building clad in white with black vertical lines. Now, this is the Aeon Center, completed by Edward Durrell Stone back in 1974. This is the third tallest building here in the city of Chicago. Now, this building was originally clad in Italian white Carrara marble. This is the same marble Michelangelo used on his David. Now, he clad this building about a ½ inch thick, which was too thin. It did not survive a few of Chicago's harsh winters. That marble actually began to crack, and we feared that it would begin to fall on people's heads. So we had to go in and reclad that building in North Carolina granite. It cost an estimated $80 million. You know, that just goes to show you cannot take marble for granted. I don't typically do that joke, but today I was feeling bolder. Who wants to see the tallest building in the world designed by a female architect? Look off into the right side of the boat. You see the building here with the undulating patios. This is Aqua Towers, designed by Chicago native Jeannie Gang. Now, this building was completed back in 2009, and those undulating patios gives it that water ribbon effect alongside it, and it also allows you to look up and down from your patios and just to wave to your neighbors. Now, the building won the Emperor Skyscraper Award for the most beautiful skyscraper. At its base, it is home to the Radisson Blu Hotel, the upper floors with condominiums. The penthouse in Aqua Towers was once owned by Lady Gaga. Triangular shaped building off to our right is the Swiss Hotel, completed by Harry Reese. Harry Reese loved the maritime theme and use of triangles. But in the front of us, off to our right, now this building that's being constructed here, when it is completed, this is going to be the Wanda Vista Towers. It is going to take the place of the third tallest building here in the city of Chicago. And it is once again designed by Chicago native Jeannie Gang. She will be outdoing herself for the tallest building in the world, designed by a female architect. But guess what? The building failed the wind shearing test. So guess what they're going to do? They are going